Ethan Parker stood frozen in the shattered glass lobby of his dream business, heart pounding. "How did everything fall apart so fast?" he whispered, staring at the ruins of what was once a thriving startup. Victoria Kane smirked from across the office, her tailored suit gleaming under the harsh fluorescent lights. Chloe Bennett glanced down at her phone, avoiding eye contact, while Alex Morgan rushed over, voice trembling. "Ethan, we need to act fast before it spreads online." Panic and disbelief mixed with cold determination as Ethan realized this was the moment that could destroy everything he had worked for. Rain poured over the city streets, soaking neon signs and asphalt. Ethan Parker, male, adjusted his jacket, scanning the alley with careful eyes. Chloe Bennett, female, trailed slightly behind, hood up, fingers tracing the edge of a concealed device. Alex Morgan, male, checked the rooftops, alert for any movement. Richard Lawson, male, strode beside them, steady and experienced. The air was thick with mist and tension. Ethan whispered, "We need to move fast but quietly." Chloe's gaze flickered toward shadowed windows, calculating every exit route. Alex muttered, "If they're out here, we'll spot them first." Richard's deep voice reassured the group, "Stay calm. Always anticipate." Footsteps echoed softly, blending with distant traffic and the rhythm of falling rain. The team's synchronized movements reflected years of training, each step deliberate. Rainwater splashed from discarded debris as they navigated closer to the rendezvous point, senses heightened and nerves taut. The alley opened into a narrow courtyard, lit by flickering security lights. Ethan signaled the team to halt, crouching behind a stack of crates. Chloe scanned the perimeter, device in hand, analyzing hidden sensors. Alex moved silently along the edge, eyes tracking shadows. Richard remained upright, calm, scanning rooftops for threats. Ethan whispered, "Sensors are active. Expect interference." Chloe nodded, fingers dancing across the tablet, decoding signals. The wind carried faint echoes of distant sirens. Alex's breathing was steady, but ready for sudden action. Richard's gaze shifted to the horizon, ensuring no blind spots. Every movement was deliberate. The team functioned as a single unit. Shadows seemed alive, shifting with every flicker of light. Ethan exhaled slowly. "We proceed on my count. Stay focused." The air was thick with anticipation, electric with quiet tension, every sense heightened in preparation. A sudden movement in the shadows caused Alex to freeze, hand instinctively reaching for his sidearm. Ethan signaled patience, whispering, "Wait." Chloe's device emitted a soft beep, showing encrypted activity. Richard stepped closer, eyes narrowing. "Stay together. Observe, then decide." The figure emerged from darkness, a courier carrying sensitive data, unaware of the team's presence. Ethan motioned subtly. "We follow, minimal disturbance." Chloe adjusted her grip on the device, scanning for traps. Alex's muscles tensed, ready for engagement. Richard remained composed, his experience guiding the team silently. Rain fell heavier, striking metal and concrete with rhythmic precision. Shadows danced across walls, creating false depth. Every heartbeat matched the city's pulse. Ethan's whispered instructions were sharp and clear. "Synchronize, move as one." Each member moved with precise coordination, the team a single, fluid entity of observation and readiness. The team followed the courier through twisting alleys, keeping distance yet maintaining clear line of sight. Ethan whispered, "No sudden moves. Track silently." Chloe's fingers flew over her device, decoding signal patterns as Alex mirrored every step, anticipating threats. Richard's steady presence anchored the group, eyes scanning rooftops and corners. Neon lights reflected in puddles, painting the alley in surreal colors. Footsteps echoed lightly, masked by rain. Ethan adjusted his pace, calculating timing and distance. Chloe's device beeped softly, revealing a slight deviation in the courier's path. Alex signaled subtly with a hand gesture, alerting the team to a potential obstacle. Richard murmured, "Patience is our advantage." Every movement was choreographed, balancing urgency with stealth. The team's unity was seamless, instinctive, a perfect synthesis of experience, intellect, and vigilance. Ethan stared at the glowing city skyline from his penthouse, the tension of last night's meeting heavy on his shoulders. Chloe approached quietly, whispering, "We can't wait any longer." Alex paced behind them, tapping his fingers against the marble counter. Victoria's call came suddenly, her tone both mocking and urgent. "The deal won't wait, Ethan," she said. Richard stepped in, his calm demeanor like a rock amidst chaos. The rain had stopped, leaving mist curling around the skyscrapers. Every shadow in the room seemed alive, threatening to expose secrets. Ethan clenched his jaw, realizing the next move could change everything. Ethan gathered the team in the war room, walls covered in charts and projections. "We need a breakthrough tonight," he said, voice resolute. Alex tapped on the holographic table, eyes scanning numbers. Chloe sketched ideas on a tablet, focused and intense. Richard nodded, adding suggestions quietly. Margaret Hill appeared via video call, her sharp eyes scanning every face. "Time is running out," she warned. Outside, lightning split the sky, briefly illuminating the room with harsh white light. Ethan's heart raced. Every strategy felt like a gamble, and the wrong move could destroy everything. The team split into smaller groups, tension thick as fog. Ethan and Alex moved toward the server room, steps echoing against concrete floors. Chloe followed, silently analyzing every security camera feed. Victoria lurked in the shadows, observing their movements, invisible but present. Richard monitored operations from a distance, calm yet vigilant. The storm outside returned, wind rattling the glass walls. Each decision carried risk, each second felt like a trap door ready to open. Ethan exhaled, realizing trust was now as dangerous as betrayal. Every heartbeat sounded louder, counting down to the inevitable confrontation. Chloe discovered a breach in the system and gasped, "They're inside." Ethan froze, eyes scanning the dark corners. Alex swore under his breath. Richard remained composed, calculating their options. Victoria's voice echoed over hidden speakers, calm and mocking. "You can't hide from me." Margaret Hill's influence seemed omnipresent, even from miles away. The lights flickered as rain hammered the rooftop. Each team member's pulse quickened, adrenaline mixing with fear. Ethan's mind raced, knowing the next few minutes would define victory or catastrophe. Trust, betrayal, and survival collided in an invisible battlefield. Ethan confronted Victoria in the control room, their eyes locked. "This ends tonight," he said, voice steady. Victoria smiled, unfazed. "It's only beginning." Chloe and Alex guarded the entrances, ready for anything. Richard stayed close, silent support. Margaret Hill's video feed flickered, observing with sharp scrutiny. Thunder roared, shaking the building. Every movement seemed amplified by tension. Ethan stepped forward, knowing his next decision could either save the team or destroy everything. Time slowed as the final pieces of their strategy fell into place, each heartbeat echoing like a drum of war. Ethan entered the abandoned warehouse, shadows stretching across cracked concrete floors. Chloe followed closely, scanning the corners with a handheld scanner. Alex checked the perimeter, alert for any movement. Victoria had left cryptic signs on the walls, mocking their arrival. Richard silently studied the surroundings, noting escape routes. Outside, fog rolled in, muffling distant city sounds. Whoa! Every step echoed like a warning. Ethan whispered, "This is it. Stay sharp." The tension was palpable, each breath synchronized with the slow drip of water from the ceiling. The team braced for confrontation, knowing there was no turning back. Suddenly, a figure darted across the warehouse floor. Ethan froze, signaling the team to stay silent. Chloe whispered, "It's her." Victoria emerged from the shadows, smirking, holding a tablet displaying sensitive files. Alex stepped forward, fists raised. Richard placed a hand on Ethan's shoulder, signaling patience. Outside, lightning split the foggy night, revealing the scale of the warehouse. Every echo of their movements bounced ominously off walls. Ethan knew this confrontation could expose the secrets they had fought to protect. Victoria's eyes glinted with challenge. The atmosphere crackled with tension and anticipation. Ethan stepped forward, voice steady. "We're done running, Victoria. Victoria laughed softly, tapping the tablet. "You'll see, it's never over." Chloe moved beside Ethan, ready to intercept any sudden move. Alex scanned the surroundings, alert for traps. Richard studied Victoria, noting every subtle twitch. Rain began pouring through broken windows, water splashing on the floor. Shadows danced across walls, flickering under lightning. The tension between them was a living entity. Every heartbeat seemed to echo in the vast space. The final showdown had begun, and every decision counted. Victoria activated a series of traps, lights flashing red across the warehouse. Ethan dove to the side, narrowly avoiding a falling beam. Chloe grabbed a loose pipe, ready to defend. Alex shielded Ethan from debris, shouting warnings. Richard calculated a safe path, leading the team cautiously forward. Thunder roared outside, rattling every metal surface. Victoria's laughter echoed, mixing with alarms. The team moved in synchrony, relying on trust built over years. Ethan's mind raced, every move requiring precision. The warehouse was alive with chaos, yet they pressed forward, determined to end the conflict tonight. Ethan confronted Victoria at the center of the warehouse. "It ends here," he said firmly. Victoria hesitated for a split second, then lowered the tablet, eyes narrowing. Chloe and Alex stood ready, silent guardians. Richard's calm presence radiated assurance. Outside, lightning illuminated the vast interior, revealing every detail. The air was thick with rain and tension. Every team member held their breath, the outcome teetering on a knife's edge. Victoria slowly raised her hands in surrender, a faint smirk remaining. Ethan exhaled, victory tempered by exhaustion. The storm outside mirrored their turbulent journey, finally reaching calm. The morning after the warehouse showdown, Ethan, Chloe, Alex and Richard regrouped in the safe house. Sunlight streamed through dusty windows, highlighting fatigue on their faces. Ethan reviewed the captured data, frowning. Chloe prepared supplies, her hands trembling slightly. Alex checked their communications gear for any lingering threats. Richard leaned against the wall, calm but vigilant, observing the group's dynamics. Silence hung heavy, punctuated by distant city sounds. Ethan spoke, voice low but determined. "We can't let them recover. We must act today." The team nodded, understanding the stakes. Outside, the city stirred, unaware of the storm that had passed. Ethan outlined their plan to infiltrate Victoria's secondary stronghold. Chloe pointed out potential entry points, her finger tracing maps on the table. Alex suggested using stealth to avoid alerting guards. Richard advised patience, emphasizing timing over speed. Outside, a light drizzle began, reflecting off the glass of nearby buildings. Each member felt the weight of responsibility pressing on their shoulders. The tension was interlaced with determination, resolve hardening in their eyes. Ethan's gaze lingered on Victoria's profile in the files, a silent vow forming. "We finish this tonight," he said firmly. The group prepared mentally for the coming storm. The team arrived at Victoria's reinforced compound by twilight. Shadows stretched across high walls, punctuated by barbed wire, glinting in the fading light. Ethan signaled to move silently, stepping carefully over gravel. Chloe followed, scanning the perimeter with a handheld camera. Alex moved along the flank, ready to intercept any patrols. Richard kept a low profile, mapping escape routes in his mind. Distant city lights flickered beyond the compound, muted by walls and trees. The air was crisp, carrying tension like electricity. Every sound, every shadow seemed amplified. Their objective was clear: penetrate without detection and confront Victoria before night fell complete. Inside the compound, the team navigated narrow hallways lined with surveillance devices. Ethan whispered commands, moving deliberately. Chloe disabled a camera with steady hands, sweat forming at her temples. Alex checked corners for traps while maintaining a low silhouette. Richard kept watch on the team, ensuring no missteps. The hum of electronics created an eerie soundtrack. Victoria's voice suddenly echoed over hidden speakers, calm but menacing. "I knew you'd come." The team froze, hearts racing. Ethan clenched his fists but pressed forward. Each step required precision and trust. The atmosphere was taut, electrified with the anticipation of confrontation. At the heart of the compound, the final confrontation unfolded. Victoria stood in a large control room, her smirk unwavering. Ethan stepped forward, voice resolute. "It ends now, Victoria." Chloe and Alex flanked him, ready for any attack. Richard analyzed every potential escape route, ensuring backup was available. Monitors displayed security feeds, flickering under harsh fluorescent lights. The team's synchronized breathing filled the room. Victoria paused, then sighed, lowering her hands. A sense of relief mingled with tension. Outside, rain pattered on the roof, rhythm matching their hearts. The battle of wits, endurance, and courage reached its climax as silence settled briefly. The storm outside mirrored the tension inside the compound. Ethan, Chloe, Alex, and Richard advanced cautiously toward the final control panel. Victoria's guards were neutralized or restrained, leaving only her and a few automated defenses. Rain streaked the windows, lightning illuminating anxious faces. Ethan whispered instructions, each word precise. Chloe double-checked the restraints on captured operatives. And Alex monitored security systems, ensuring no surprises. Richard scanned for hidden exits, muscles tense. Every heartbeat resonated in the large chamber. Victory felt close, yet danger lingered. Ethan's eyes locked on Victoria. Their confrontation was inevitable. The air vibrated with anticipation. Ethan confronted Victoria directly, voice steady but commanding. "It ends now, Victoria. Surrender." She laughed softly, a cold, calculating sound, eyes darting for any advantage. Chloe and Alex flanked Ethan, poised to act at the slightest threat. Richard's gaze swept the room, assessing danger. Lightning cast fleeting shadows across Victoria's face, highlighting defiance. Her hand hovered over a hidden control switch, tension coiling in every muscle. Ethan's jaw tightened, patience was a weapon. Seconds stretched, dripping with suspense. Victoria's lips curled, and she hesitated, measuring the risk. The balance of power teetered on a knife's edge. Outside, thunder rumbled, echoing their confrontation. A sudden movement from Victoria triggered the alarms. Automated defenses activated. Ethan dove for cover, while Chloe fired an EMP device to disable electronics. Alex vaulted over a console to block lasers, and Richard pushed the team to safety. Sparks flew, monitors flickered, and a loud siren echoed through the room. Victoria's expression shifted from defiance to surprise. Chaos engulfed the chamber, forcing split-second decisions. Each member relied on their training, instincts sharpening under pressure. Ethan signaled to proceed, weaving through debris. Chloe followed, shielding their path. Alex provided tactical cover. Richard's calm guidance kept the team coordinated amidst the storm. Time slowed, danger pressing on all sides. The MP disabled most defenses, leaving Victoria vulnerable. Ethan closed in, his voice low. "No more games, Victoria." She raised her hands, reluctantly yielding. Chloe cuffed her, and Alex ensured no other devices could threaten them. Richard monitored exits, confirming escape routes. Rain pelted the windows, washing the scene in reflective silver light. Each member exhaled, tension easing slightly. The confrontation had tested their limits, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Victoria's calm demeanor cracked, revealing fear beneath pride. Ethan stepped back, breathing heavily, the weight of responsibility visible in his eyes. Outside, city lights shimmered through the storm, a quiet reflection of victory approaching. With Victoria detained and her systems neutralized, Ethan, Chloe, Alex, and Richard emerged into the stormy night. Rain washed over them, cold but cleansing, symbolizing the end of their grueling mission. Ethan exhaled deeply, shoulders relaxing. Chloe smiled faintly, gratitude and relief in her eyes. Alex laughed softly, a release of pent-up tension. Richard clapped Ethan on the shoulder, pride evident in his eyes. The team moved toward the city lights, victorious yet changed by the trials endured. In the distance, sirens and distant traffic marked a world, returning to normal. They had survived, triumphed, and were bound together forever by the night's ordeal. A new dawn promised both recovery and reflection. Dawn broke over the city, painting the streets in gold and mist. Ethan, Chloe, Alex, and Richard gathered on a rooftop overlooking the skyline, reflecting on the mission's cost. Rain-soaked streets glistened below, remnants of the night storm. Ethan adjusted his jacket, eyes scanning the horizon, contemplating the choices they'd made. Chloe leaned against the railing, exhausted but calm, tracing the streaks of light in the distance. Alex fiddled with a small device, ensuring no hidden threats remained. Richard's hands rested on his hips, posture relaxed yet vigilant. The team shared silent acknowledgement of their survival, each carrying invisible scars. A faint breeze carried the scent of ozone and hope. Silence spoke volumes, binding them beyond words. Ethan spoke quietly, "We survived, but the world didn't pause for us." Chloe nodded, her voice gentle, "Some wounds heal slowly, but we have each other." Alex smirked faintly, tension leaving his shoulders, "And coffee. Never forget coffee." Richard chuckled, deep and reassuring. "Experience always leaves marks, but we carry wisdom too." The city below awoke gradually, lights flickering on, and distant traffic grew louder. Wind shifted, rustling clothing and hair. Birds emerged from hidden perches, their chirps soft against the urban hum. Ethan exhaled, a subtle smile forming. Chloe's eyes softened, tracing the rising sun. Alex adjusted his jacket, ready for whatever came next. Richard's gaze swept the horizon, watchful yet calm. Hope mingled with caution, a fragile balance. Suddenly, Chloe's device beeped softly, alerting them to an unknown signal nearby. Ethan frowned, stepping closer. "Could be a leftover threat," he said carefully. Alex checked the signal, eyes narrowing. "Frequency seems unusual, encrypted." Richard's stance tightened slightly, muscles coiled with alertness. Chloe's fingers danced over the device, analyzing the pattern. The wind picked up, carrying distant echoes from streets below. Tension returned, subtle but real, threading through the team's calm exterior. Ethan's jaw set, "Stay sharp, we handle this together." Chloe nodded, eyes focused, ready. Alex adjusted his stance, prepared for rapid movement. Richard scanned the horizon for vantage points. A sense of quiet anticipation settled like a storm before lightning. Ethan decided to investigate, motioning for the team to follow. Chloe led cautiously, device emitting occasional beeps. Alex covered the rear, scanning alleys and rooftops for anomalies. Richard's calm voice offered guidance. "Watch corners, watch the skies." The signal led them to an abandoned communications tower, wires dangling, metal rusted. Rain began lightly, cold drops on shoulders and hair. Ethan examined a panel, tracing the encrypted code. Chloe observed patterns, eyes reflecting concern. Alex kept an eye on possible threats, muscles coiled. Richard's posture remained steady, experience anchoring the team. The city seemed both quiet and alive, holding secrets in every shadow. Tension and curiosity intertwined, propelling them forward. Finally, the source revealed itself, a small autonomous drone, harmless yet encrypted. Ethan breathed, exhaling relief. Chloe laughed softly, tension melting. Alex smirked. "Nothing sneaks past us." Richard shook his head with a small smile, pride evident. The drone hovered briefly before shutting down, harmless. Sunlight fully broke through clouds, illuminating wet streets and rooftops. Ethan glanced at his team, gratitude and camaraderie shining in his eyes. Chloe's smile widened, energy returning. Alex relaxed, stance mirrored confidence. Richard's hands rested on his hips, satisfied yet vigilant. The storm had passed, but vigilance remained. They walked together back toward the city, ready for whatever came next, stronger and united. Night fell over the city, neon lights reflecting on slick asphalt. Ethan, Chloe, Alex, and Richard convened in a quiet, abandoned warehouse, shadows stretching across walls. Ethan examined a series of encrypted signals on a tablet, brow furrowed. Chloe traced patterns with her finger, lips moving as if counting hidden rhythms. Alex checked surrounding windows and entrances, cautious, while Richard stood with hands behind his back, surveying the space with quiet authority. The distant hum of traffic mixed with dripping water from broken pipes. Tension hung heavy, thick as fog, each sound magnified in the vast empty space. Ethan's voice broke the silence. "This isn't over." Chloe glanced at him, eyes wary but resolute. Alex smirked faintly, masking concern. Richard's deep voice grounded the team, steady as a lighthouse in darkness. Every movement was deliberate, every glance calculated. Ethan outlined a new threat, data revealing a clandestine group moving silently across the city. Chloe's eyes narrowed, they're organized, precise, not amateurs. Alex tapped the tablet, calculating probabilities, timing, movement, patterns. They leave almost nothing behind. Richard adjusted his jacket, voice calm but firm. "Well, anticipate, we counter. Always prepared." Outside, a distant siren cut through the night, echoing down alleyways. The team shifted into formation, each instinctively taking positions near exit points. Ethan's gaze swept the shadows, his mind racing through contingencies. Chloe's fingers hovered over the tablet, analyzing, deducing. Alex flexed his hands, ready for action. Richard exhaled slowly, grounding the team with silent confidence. Every sense was heightened, every movement deliberate. The warehouse no longer just a shelter, but a command center of vigilance. Suddenly, a flicker of movement outside drew their attention. Ethan motioned for silence. Chloe held up a hand, scanning the shadows. Alex crept toward the entrance, every step measured. Richard's deep voice whispered instructions: "Do not engage unless necessary." The shadows shifted, revealing a figure in a hooded jacket moving swiftly past broken windows. The device in Chloe's hands beeped, indicating an encrypted signature. Ethan's jaw tightened. "They know we're watching." Chloe's eyes darted between readings and street, calculating patterns. Alex crouched slightly, ready to intercept if needed. Richard's stance remained steady, poised to guide or intervene. A gust of wind rattled the broken windows, carrying the faint scent of rain. Time slowed, each heartbeat echoed in the cavernous warehouse. The team decided to pursue, exiting the warehouse with caution. Ethan led, eyes forward, alert. Chloe followed, device in hand, analyzing every signal. Alex scanned alleys and rooftops, ready for a chase. Richard brought up the rear, vigilant, noting possible ambush points. Streets were slick with recent rain, neon signs reflecting in puddles. Shadows seemed to stretch unnaturally, playing tricks on perception. Ethan whispered, "Stay tight, move with precision." Chloe's gaze never left the device, decoding hidden paths. Alex moved silently, muscles coiled for action. Richard's voice was steady, guiding, protecting. Each step brought tension, urgency, and anticipation. A new game had begun, and the team knew every decision mattered. The chase led them to a hidden courtyard, faint light spilling from a single broken lamp. The figure paused, glancing back, revealing a glinting emblem on the sleeve. Ethan slowed, signaling the team to halt. Chloe analyzed readings. Encrypted patterns lead here. They're expecting someone. Alex clenched his fists, ready for confrontation, while Richard surveyed exit points, calm but ready. The figure vanished into a narrow alleyway, leaving behind faint traces of movement. The team exchanged brief looks, a mixture of relief and tension. Ethan's voice broke the silence. "We're not done, but we're ready." Chloe's fingers traced patterns on the device, Alex exhaled sharply, and Richard's hands settled on his hips. The night was far from over, but the team's cohesion and resolve were unshakable.